8:03 a.m., Cedar Grove, Ohio. Black tie, empty house. My wife Laura's daisy-etched pocket watch ticks like it's keeping score. I call my son. Tyler. He answers over bass and laughter. Dad, I told you. Brittany's birthday is tonight. We've got a theme. It's kind of a big deal. I stare at Laura's funeral program on the counter. 11:30 a.m. Street marks. Her name in serif type looks too calm for a day like this. Your mother's funeral is in 3 hours, I say. Mom's not coming back, he says, soft like he's delivering wisdom. But Brittany turns 32 once. We've planned this for months. There it is. The clean snap of a toxic belief. A narcissist's calendar outranks a cemetery's reality. I set the phone down. The house breathes. No humming from Laura. No kettle whistling. Just the pocket watch. A metronome for my boundaries that never existed. Text, Tyler me, 8:11 Can you be cool about this? Brittany's freaking out. We'll do something for Mom later. Brunch? Later is the favorite word of an enabler. Later means never. Later is a trap. I thumb open the family folder Laura kept "The Will" in blue ink on the tab. Her handwriting is a hug and a challenge. I don't open it. Not yet. I'm not ready for legal language telling me what love already signed in blood. I go to street marks alone. The pastor talks about vows. The pew creaks like it's grieving too. 22 people. No Tyler. No Brittany. Just our neighbors, Laura's quilt guild, and a casserole with our name on it. Back home at 1:17 p.m. I hang my jacket in a closet that still smells like her lavender sachet. The watch keeps ticking. I open my laptop. Bank accounts, transfers, 15 years. Tuition, car, down payment, wedding, emergency, vacation, emergency. Always an emergency for someone else's convenience. I start a running total in a fresh spreadsheet. COLETYLERSUPPORT XLSX. Tuition. For $196,000. MBA that became finding himself. $44,000. First car. $28,500. Down payment. $325,000. Wedding extras. $52,300. Credit card bailouts. $36,400. Bridge loans that never bridged. $91,200. Random business ideas. $39,000. Subtotal. $812,400. Numbers don't gaslight. They testify. Text. Tyler me. 1:29 p.m. Hey, so quick thing, can you wire $12,000 today? Party costs jumped. Band deposit. Steakhouse minimums. Brittany's spiraling. We'll pay you back when the brand deal lands. Promise. Promise is the interest-free word of a repeat borrower. I type but don't send. Wire to First National Bank, Act ending 7741. Memo. Birthday. I leave it in drafts like a live grenade. I pull Laura's small ledger from the drawer, the one she kept when paper felt safer than apps. Margin notes in pencil. Skipped anniversary dinner. Tyler needed tires. Generic meds this month. Their honeymoon ran long. Don't tell Nate yet. He worries. I sit down. My breathing changes. People say grief moves in waves. This is a riptide pulling me toward a question I've ducked for a decade. Was I enabling their toxic behavior by being too nice? Yes. And if yes, then today stops the pattern. The phone lights up. Tyler. Incoming, I answer. Dad, we're kind of at the register right now. He laughs like this is cute. We just need a quick 12. It's nothing to you. We'll settle up. It's Tyler, I say steady. Where are you? Romano's downtown. Brittany wanted the private room. It's her day, you understand, right? It was your mother's day, I say. This morning. Silence. Then the pivot. The gaslighting sigh. Look, Mom would want us to be happy. She was all about family. She wouldn't want drama. Laura wanted you at her funeral, I say. He inhales. I can picture Brittany's manicure tapping the table, coaching him. He tries another script. If you need reassurance, I can swing by tomorrow. But we need to handle the card now. Can you just wire it? Same account. I open my notes app. Title. Boundaries effective. Immediately. No wires, no cash, no temporary. No employment favoritism, everything in writing. Tyler, I say, I'm not wiring you money. Aged to a gram as of parrot. He chuckles automatic, disbelieving. Is there an issue with the bank? No. There's an issue with boundaries. Dad, Brittany's crying. You're making this worse. Be reasonable. Don't be petty. You know we'll make it right. Each phrase clicks like a lock on a cage. I pull Laura's will closer. I don't open it. I just rest my palm on it like a Bible in a courtroom. You missed your mother's funeral, I say. You can handle your wife's stake. The laugh disappears. You're really doing this? After the week we've had? Wow. Okay. If this is how you're going to be, don't expect us around as much. There it is, the control lever. Presence is payment, absence is punishment. I understand, I say. You what? I understand. Take care, Tyler. I hang up. I put my phone face down on the ledger. My hand is shaking. But it's not weakness. It's electricity returning to a limb that was asleep for too long. Here's what a boundary sounds like when you've never set one. No. I open a new email. 2. Myself, subject, written evidence, pattern of support, body, 2009-2024, 812,000. $400 direct support, C, spreadsheet, multiple, emergencies. No repayment schedule, repeated gaslighting invoking Laura's kindness. Today, skipped funeral. Ask for $12,000 for party. I attach PDFs, bank transfers, Venmo screenshots, the ledger scans in Laura's handwriting. Paper is how you beat a professional storyteller. A narcissist edits memory. A PDF does not. The daisy watch ticks. I set it next to the microphone I use for site calls. I want to remember the sound of time when I listen back to this moment. I walk to the hallway mirror and fix my tie. Not because of the funeral, I already did that part alone, but because the next calls need a different version of me. HR at Cole Construction. We need a meeting at 8 a.m. tomorrow. Documented performance only. No explanations outside policy. Maya Patel, Esquire. I'd like to review my estate plan, powers of attorney, and beneficiary designations, and I need a clean exit strategy for a personal guarantee on a mortgage I regret. First National Bank. I want to talk about removing my name as guarantor. Please confirm notice requirements in writing. I sit back down. The house is still empty. But it isn't powerless. Text. Unknown number. Me. 2:06 p.m. This is Brittany. I'm devastated you'd do this to family on my birthday. Tyler tells me you're struggling. Grief can make people cruel. Please don't punish us because you're hurting. Also, Mom would never want you alone. Let us take care of the accounts like we planned. Less stress for you. That's the enabler pitch. Reframe my boundary as cruelty. Offer to help by managing my bank accounts. I screenshot the text. I add it to the email thread. Written evidence. Manipulation attempts. The cursor blinks in my notes under boundaries. I add a fourth line. No more letting guilt spend my money. I close the laptop. I pick up Laura's watch. The daisy engraving is warm from my hand. Happy birthday, Brittany. I say to the quiet kitchen. And goodbye, ATM. Tomorrow, I stop being nice and start being fair. The house is quiet in a new way, like it's listening to what I'll do next. I clear the kitchen table. Ledger left, laptop center, flatbed scanner right. Laura's daisy-etched pocket watch sits on the folder labeled The Will. I'm not opening the will yet. I want facts first, feelings second. I pull the banker's box from the pantry, 15 years of statements and emergencies. I sort by year, 2009 through 2024. My hands move like I'm clocking in for a job I should have taken years ago. Tuition invoices stamped paid. Venmo screenshots. Bridge me till Friday. Brit needs deposit X. Brit needs deposit X. Credit card payoff confirmations with my name in the memo. Cashier's check copy. Down payment Tyler divided by Brittany Maple Avenue. I build folders on my desktop. Evidence divided by bank. Evidence divided by texts. Evidence divided by employment. I scan everything to PDF. File names like court exhibits, 2014-05-12, tuition, receipt, ISU, PDF, 2018-06-30, down payment, cashier's check, $325,000. PDF, 2021-093. CC, payoff, 18K. PDF, I set up 321 backups, local external drive, cloud, printed index, paper beats memory, PDF beats gaslighting. Text, me myself, 2:42 p.m. Subject, written evidence. Timeline, body, pattern of financial enabling 2009-2024. Total to date, $812,400. See spreadsheet. No repayment agreements. No promissory notes. Behavioral pattern, entitlement plus guilt leverage. Mom would want. Today. Skipped funeral plus demand for $12,000. Party. Attachments, 17 PDFs. ICC, Maya Patel, Esquire using her secure upload link. No commentary. Just data. I open a new note. Policy changes, Nate Cole effective immediately. No wires, no cash. No temporary loans to Tyler divided by Brittany. Employment boundaries, HR policy applies equally. No family exceptions. Communications. Text divided by email only. Keep everything in writing. Financial safeguards. Remove personal guarantees. Update beneficiaries, TOD, divided by pod, to Laura's Daisy Foundation, placeholder. Estate docs. Review revocable living trust. Draft irrevocable trust for business interests. Revoke any durable POA naming Tyler. Update healthcare proxy plus HIPAA releases. The printer spits out the list like a contract with myself. I sign and date it. Sounds silly. It isn't. Boundaries are enforceable when they're visible. The phone buzzes. Text, Brittany me, 3:01 p.m. We're all hurting. She was my family too. But you refusing to help right now is cruel. If managing money is stressful for you, put us on the accounts like we discussed. I can handle bills. You can focus on grieving. That heart emoji is a velvet-gloved hand in my wallet. Classic enabler script. Let me relieve your burden by controlling your bank accounts. I draft a reply and don't send. Per counsel, I won't be adding you to any bank accounts or granting POA. Please put any future requests in writing. I deleted unsent. No arguments. No oxygen. I open COLETYLERSUPPORT XLSX. The subtotal $812,400 sits there like a verdict. I add 2 tabs. Tab 2. Employment record. Cole Construction. 2019-02. Client complaint. Missed inspection documented by HR. 2020-11. Expense report adjustments, non-business meals. 2022-05. Site, late arrivals. 6. 2023-08. Vendor grievance, change order unsigned. 2024-03. Performance improvement plan issued. Tab 3. Promises versus payments. Promises, 27 entries. Payments received, 0. Delta, $812,400. I export to PDF. Evidence doesn't sulk. It stacks. The doorbell rings. Mrs. Jenkins from next door stands with a Pyrex and eyes full of pity. I heard the service was beautiful, she says. It was. My voice surprises me steady, not broken. She hesitates. Tyler. The question dies in the space between us. He had other plans, I say. I accept the casserole. And the conversation ends there. Grief doesn't need another witness today. Back at the table, I lay out my next 3 moves like plays on a whiteboard. Play 1, HR. Email to Sarah Miller, HR Director. Subject, documentation review. Cole, Tyler. Please compile written performance records for Tyler Cole, 2019 present. Warnings, PIPs, client divided by vendor complaints, timesheets. Prepare termination paperwork per policy. Meeting 8 a.m. tomorrow. Security standby requested. No cause discussed beyond documented performance. This is their line. Attach. HR policy section on at-will employment and separation protocol. Play 2. Bank. Email to David Harrison, First National Bank. Subject. Guarantor withdrawal. Maple Ave Mortgage. Requesting written process for removal as personal guarantor on loan number MA7741. Please confirm notice period, required forms, and any cure divided by foreclosure timelines. I will not be making payments on behalf of borrowers. Send all communications in writing. Certified mail is acceptable. BCC Maya. Play 3. Estate. Email to Maya Patel, Esquire. Subject. Estate plan. Overhaul. Immediate. Tomorrow. Revoke any prior POA divided by healthcare proxy naming Tyler. Update beneficiary designations brokerage divided by 401k to TOD divided by POD in favor of new charitable entity Laura's Daisy Foundation to be formed. Draft irrevocable trust for business interests to protect from potential claims. Prepare notice of disinheritance with competency memo. I will bring IDs and statements. Attach copy of marriage certificate, Laura's death certificate, scan, list of account numbers. Masked. I hit send on all 3. I feel the house shift. Not physically, structurally. The load-bearing wall called Nice Guy just came down. VO memory shard. Laura at the sink, drying hands. Nate. Love doesn't mean saying yes when no would save him. I kissed her then, and changed the subject. I wish I hadn't. I pick up her ledger again. The page with the tiny pencil note. Don't tell Nate yet. He worries. I know now. I tell the air. The phone lights up. Unknown caller. I let it go to voicemail. Then another. Tyler. Then Brittany. I toggle Do Not Disturb and leave the watch face up. I open a new document. Affidavit of support rendered. Draft. It's overkill until it isn't. I, Nathan Cole, under penalty of perjury, state, from 2009-2024 I provided financial support to my adult son Tyler Cole, totaling approximately $812,400 in tuition, housing, consumer debt payoff, and miscellaneous expenses. These transfers were gifts, not loans. Absent any written promissory notes or repayment schedules, I save it. If this goes to court or mediation, I want to own the narrative before a narcissist rewrites it. Email. Auto reply from Maya's office, 3:44 p.m. Confirmed. 9:30 a.m. Appointment. Please bring valid ID. We will have a notary present. I print a checklist for tomorrow. Driver's license. Bank. Divided by brokerage statements. Masked. Company operating agreement. Life insurance policy. Beneficiary. Change forms. Existing will divided by trust, divided by POA. List of accounts for TOD divided by POD. Foundation mission draft. Laura's Daisy scholarships and elder financial justice. I pour coffee I won't finish. The cup cools beside the stack of PDFs. The pocket watch ticks. At 8 a.m., HR gets the file. At 9:30, my lawyer gets my future. By sundown, my boundaries will be notarized. I wake before my alarm. The house isn't grieving anymore. It's bracing. I pocket Laura's Daisy watch and drive to the office while the sky is still the color of cold steel. 7:12 a.m. Cole Construction. The lobby lights hum. No chatter. No Tyler swaggering in late with a to-go latte and a story about networking. I unlock my office and line up the pieces. HR policy binder. A sealed envelope labeled boundaries, and a printout of the spreadsheet total. $812,400. Not for Tyler, this is for me. Remember why. VO quick cuts. IT, on speaker. Confirmed. If you send the signal, we can suspend Tyler's email, VPN, and admin credentials in under a minute. Accounting. Corporate card ending 2213 is frozen. Any pending charges will decline at point of sale. Facilities. Temporary badge access limited to lobby only after 8:30. Per your note, I'm not firing him yet. That's a policy moment. This is a boundary moment. Email. From me, Tyler. 7:23 a.m. Subject. Work expectations and communication. Effective, immediately. Tyler. All work-related communication must be via email, not text. Arrive by 8:30 a.m. and check in with HR for timekeeping. Corporate card privileges are suspended pending review. All expenses require pre-approval in writing. Personal matters including financial requests are not to be discussed at work. See attached. Employee handbook sections on at-will employment, code of conduct, and expense policy. We will meet at 8 a.m. in my office with HR to review performance documentation. Dad. I add Sarah Miller, HR to the thread and attach the handbook, PDF. Paper beats excuses. Text, Tyler me, 7:25 a.m. What is this? You're CCing HR like I'm some rando? We can talk like adults. Text, me Tyler, 7:26 a.m. Please reply by email. Text, Brittany me, 7:27 a.m. Is this punishment because we had to celebrate my birthday? This feels abusive. We're family. Abusive is a heavy word when you've been living off someone's wallet for a decade. I screenshot and file it under divided by evidence divided by texts divided by without responding. Sarah steps in at 7:31 with a slim folder and a look that says she's been ready for this for months. Documented issues, she says. No editorial. Dates, signatures, client emails, PIP. If you choose separation, we'll follow protocol. Final paycheck per state law. Benefits notice. Cobra packet. Security on standby per policy. Not yet, I say. First, boundaries, then performance. She nods. At 8, I draft one more email, the hardest one to write. Email. From me myself, CC. Maya, 7:36 a.m. Subject. Self-record boundary decision. Today I will refuse any personal financial request from Tyler or Brittany. If a request is made at work, I will redirect to email and decline in writing. I will not apologize for enforcing policy. I hit send. A time-stamped promise to my future self. 7:42 a.m. IT pings. Heads up, there were attempts to log into the corporate card portal from a mobile IP. Blocked. Of course there were. The elevator dings at 7:49. Tyler's silhouette in the frosted glass, hair perfect. Expression set to charm. He pushes in without knocking and flops into the chair opposite me like this is another Monday. Morning, he says. So dramatic with the emails. Good morning, I say. Sarah will join us in a minute. He glances at the envelope labeled boundaries. Is that, like, a prop? It's a decision, I say. He smirks. Dad, last night was weird. You hung up. Brittany cried for an hour. I'm just asking you to be reasonable. We'll pay you back when the brand deal lands. And about work, can we just reset? No need to drag HR into family stuff. Slow down, I say, keeping my voice level. 2 lanes, personal and professional. We'll keep them separate. He leans forward, elbows on knees. Earnest face activated. Look, I was upset about the funeral. We handled it badly. But Brittany's mental health is fragile. You refusing to help? That's toxic. Mom would hate this. There it is again, an attempt to gaslight me using Laura's kindness as a weapon. I place Laura's watch flat on the desk between us, Daisy engraving up. Your mother loved boundaries, I say. She just expressed them gently. He rolls his eyes. Can we skip the therapy talk? Sarah slips in and closes the door. Tyler, she says, professional warmth. We'll start with handbook acknowledgements. He tosses the folder back on my desk. I'm not signing anything without my lawyer. You already signed the handbook when you were hired, Sarah says, unruffled. She lays out copies of timesheets with late arrivals highlighted, vendor emails about unsigned change orders, an expense report with 2 steakhouse dinners, tagged non-compliant. Tyler's jaw tightens. This is retaliatory. Because he wouldn't fund my wife's birthday? I don't flinch. This is documentation. He checks his phone, thumbs moving fast. You know what? Let's solve the personal lane first. Help us with $12,000 today, and I'll pick up extra shifts, whatever, and we can table this. No, I say. He blinks. What? No. He laughs, high and thin. Is there a bank issue? There's a boundary, I say. Personal finances are not a work topic. Put any personal requests in writing. They will be declined. He stands up, pacing. So that's it? After everything we've been through? You owe me. This is a family business. This is a business I built, I say. Family status doesn't override policy. 9. He points at Sarah. You can't just… What? Suspend my card. Sarah taps a page. Cardholder agreement. Section 3. Privileges can be suspended at the discretion of the company. You received that policy. He turns back to me, eyes bright with anger. Brittany says this is financial abuse. You're trying to control us. Control is what you've attempted for years, I say. with threats of absence, with guilt. That ends today. He exhales a long, theatrical sigh. Fine. Then I'm out. I'll go talk to my contacts. They actually value me. Sarah keeps her tone neutral. Before you go to any job sites today, you'll need to sign the safety acknowledgement for this quarter. Also, please return any company property not essential to your role tool stay, but take personal items only. We're confirming role scope. Role scope? His laugh cracks. You mean demotion? I mean clarity, I say. He leans forward, palms on my desk. Let me be clear then. If you embarrass me today, if you try to make some spectacle with security, I swear I will take this public. Grieving widower fires son in breakdown. How's that headline? I pick up the envelope and slide a single page across to him. Email printouts his text from yesterday. Mom's not coming back. Birthday is once a year. And is 1:29 p.m. Demand for $12,000. Beneath it, a neat list of transfers totaling $812,400. Written evidence, I say. If you take it public, take all of it. He stares at the page, then up at me. For a rare second, there's no script in his eyes. Just calculation failing to load. Sarah closes her folder. Tyler, please acknowledge the 8:30 check-in with HR moving forward and the expense policy in writing by noon. We'll reconvene at 9:30 to review performance. If you choose not to comply, we'll treat it as refusal to follow policy. He snatches the paper, crumples it, and shoves it into his pocket. You want an email? You'll get an email. He storms out. The door rattles. The building keeps standing. Sarah exhales. You did that clean. It didn't feel clean, I say. It felt necessary. She nods toward the watch. She'd be proud. My phone buzzes. Email, Tyler Cole. Subject, retaliation and toxic workplace. He CCs, Brittany, and 3 managers. The body is long, dramatic, accusing. He calls my boundary financial cruelty, the HR meeting harassment, and suggests I'm unstable. I reply with one sentence. Per your request, please keep all communications in writing. We will address performance at 9:30 a.m., per policy. CC, HR, BCC, Maya Patel. I stand, slide the watch back into my pocket, and look out at the yard where steel beams wait to become something useful. Boundaries are like that, ugly, heavy, essential and invisible when the building stands. At 9:30, we handle performance. At 9:31, I drive to my lawyer. Today, I stop being the enabler and become the owner. At 9:31 a.m. I step out of HR's war room and straight into the elevator. One text to my attorney. Text. Me Maya Patel, 9:32 a.m. Running 20-30 minutes late from HR. Can we shift to 10? Text. Maya me. We'll be ready. Bring ID. Notary standing by. Cedar Grove looks different when you've decided to stop asking for permission. I park under the Patel and Howe sign and carry the binder that weighs exactly as much as 15 years. Reception waves me through. Corner office, floor-to-ceiling windows, legal pads stacked like bricks. Maya, I say. Nate, she says, standing, firm handshake. Before we begin, I'm sorry about Laura. A beat. Let's protect what she cared about. We sit. I set Laura's daisy watch on the table, my private gavel. I slide over the index. Written evidence. Timeline. COLET. YLERSUP. PORT. XLSX. PDFs of transfers. Brittany's texts. Maya skims like a scanner. You brought me receipts. Good. I want 3 things, I say. Boundaries in law. Ownership of my future. And no room for gaslighting. Done, she says, pulling a yellow pad. We'll treat this as a rebuild, not a patch. Phase 1. Estate and medical control. Today. First, Maya says, we revoke any durable power of attorney or healthcare proxy naming Tyler. She slides forms toward me. These require notarization. We'll add a HIPAA release naming trusted parties, not Tyler or Brittany. I sign. The notary stamps. The thunk is a small thunderclap. Second, she continues, we update beneficiary designations. Your bank accounts can use POD, payable on death. Your brokerage divided by 401 can use TOD. We'll redirect to a charitable entity. Working title Laura's Daisy Foundation. Not created yet, I say. We'll file the nonprofit after lunch, she says. For today, we can designate your revocable living trust as contingent beneficiary. Then we amend the trust to pour over to the foundation when it exists. Do it, I say. Third, she says, flipping a tab, we execute a new last will and testament, explicitly disinheriting Tyler and any descendants. With a statement of rational intent, we'll attach a competency memo. I'll interview you on camera. It kills Dad was unstable claims. I'm ready now, I say. She turns on a small camera. State your name, date, and why you are changing your plan. I look into the lens. Nathan Cole. Today, I'm changing my plan because facts beat stories. I hold up the ledger scans. 15 years, $812,400. I was an enabler. I'm done. Maya nods to the notary. That's admissible context. Phase 2, asset protection and business this week. Next, Maya says, your company will create an irrevocable trust working name Cole Operating Trust that will own your LLC divided by operating agreement interests. You remain trustee during life, with a successor board including me and an independent CPA. Purpose: shield from potential claims, family, creditors, or retaliatory lawsuits. Tyler works for me, I say. For now. Which leads to HR, she says. At will state, good documentation. Perfect. If performance triggers separation, follow policy. No explanations outside the four corners of the documents. If Brittany storms the premises, call security. If they go public, we respond with written evidence only. No interviews. I nod. Understood. Tu he had daces rel na to say eyes. Phase 3. Bank guarantees and paper trails. Next 48 hours. Your message to the bank was right, Maya says. We'll send certified mail withdrawing your personal guarantee on the Maple Ave mortgage. If the loan requires 30-day notice, we calendar it. Meanwhile, we instruct the bank. No authority to discuss your personal accounts with Tyler or Brittany. Require in-person ID for any changes. Add verbal passwords. Add my foundation as POD on the CDs, I say. We'll do that, she says. Also freeze any authorized user cards tied to your SSN. Today. She prints a stack. Sign here, here, and here. The pen moves. My hand doesn't shake. Maya flips to a fresh page. 2 more moves. Go on. For sudden time, Siddery. 1. She says. We file a notice of revocation for any prior POA at the county recorder. Even if it wasn't recorded. It keeps third parties from claiming we thought Tyler had authority. Smart, I say. 2. She says. We prepare a cease and desist template for harassment calls, texts, showing up at your home or office. If they cross the line, we send it. If they escalate, we pursue a civil protective order. This isn't about punishing. It's about boundaries with enforcement teeth. I exhale. Good. She studies me for a second. Say the thing you're not saying. I feel guilty, I admit. Like I'm betraying my son. But I also know I've been betraying myself and Laura by funding his chaos. Maya sets down her pen. Guilt is a gaslighter's favorite currency. We're switching to policy. She opens a new folder labeled Foundation, Mission, Scholarships and Elder Financial Justice. Yes, I say. And maybe housing. A safe place for the people Laura worried about. Her eyes flick, just a fraction. I can work with that. I sign the new will. We execute revocations. We notarize medical directives. Maya drafts the trust skeleton while her paralegal, Jess, runs copies to the recorder. Email. From Maya me, 11/17 Subject. Action items. Today. Bank. Beneficiary divided by POD. Divided by TOD updates. Guarantee withdrawal. Certified. Recorder. POA revocation recorded. Receipt attached. Estate. Will executed. Trust draft for review. EOD. Medical. HC proxy plus HIPAA notarized. Copies attached. Foundation. Articles plus EIN app prepped. Ready to file after your sign-off. My phone buzzes with 3 new emails from Tyler. 1 subject line. Retaliation update. He CCs managers and blind CCs God knows who. Claims I'm unstable. That HR is bullying. He asks for a reasonable severance. I forward the thread to Maya with 1 line. Respond or hold. Her reply is instant. Hold. He's building a story. We're building a case. Creed. She looks up. One more protection. Keep a contemporaneous journal. Dates, times, what was said. Juries believe ink. I pull out my pocket notebook and write, 10:48 a.m. Signed will, revoked POA, divided by health proxy, initiated trust, felt guilt, chose policy. Maya gathers the executed documents. Nate, this is the day you stopped being an ATM and became a fiduciary of Laura's legacy. I close my hand around the daisy watch. Then let's act like it. I stand. Next stop, the bank. Maya walks me to the door. She pauses, like she wants to say something else, then chooses timing over content. We'll talk more when the foundation papers file. About what? Context, she says. It'll make the work feel less lonely. I nod. I can handle lonely. I'm done with toxic. By noon, the will is inked. The POA is dead. And my money finally answers to policy, not pressure. At 1 o'clock, I take those same rules back to the office, and the family business learns what at will really means. By 12:58 p.m., I'm back in the parking lot at Cole Construction with a folder full of notarized boundaries. The sky has cleared, like it got the memo. 1:05 p.m. IT confirms. Tyler's admin privileges, revoked. Email, active but monitored per policy. VPN, suspended on Signal. Badge, restricted to lobby pending HR meeting. Sarah has laid out the room like a clean operating table. Policy binder, attendance logs, client emails. The PIP performance improvement plan, Tyler ignored, and a sealed envelope labeled separation packet. I see the tabs. Final paycheck, Cobra, notice, equipment return, non-disparagement reminder, not a gag order, just the handbook clause about defamation. Last chance for a reset, Sarah says. If he signs the acknowledgement and agrees to the performance plan, we continue. If he refuses policy, we separate. Policy over blood, I say. Either way. 1:17 p.m. Tyler breezes in late, cologne first, confidence second. He drops into the chair. Thumbs already flying. Let the record reflect Tyler is late, Sarah says calmly, tapping the timesheet. Tyler smirks. Let the record reflect I'm management. We don't punch clocks. You're an at-will employee, Sarah replies, sliding the handbook. Management follows policy too. He flicks a glance at me. Can we be done with this theater? I sent a severance proposal. I open my laptop. His email is on screen. Subject, reasonable transition. Ask, 6 months salary, keep corporate card 30 days, positive reference. No hard feelings. I read one sentence aloud. 6 months for missed inspections, unsigned change orders, and 5 late site arrivals in the last quarter. His smile tightens. Retaliation. Because you wouldn't help with Brittany's birthday. It's obvious. There's Nide. Tyler, Sarah says. Professional, unflinching. We're addressing documented performance only. Please initial the receipt of the PIP you ignored. He nudges the paper back with a knuckle. My lawyer will review. Not required to acknowledge, she says. We note refusal. I fold my hands. Then we move to separation. He barks a laugh. You wouldn't. Per at-will employment in Section 6 performance and conduct your employment is terminated, effective immediately. My voice is level. This is a business decision. Neither date. Sarah slides the separation packet across. Final paycheck including accrued PTO. State law. Cobra election notice. 60 days to elect. 401. Co-rollover instructions. Equipment return inventory form. Handbook acknowledgement of post-employment obligations. Confidentiality. Tools. Records. Tyler's jaw works. You can't make me sign. Sign or not, Sarah says. We'll document that you received everything. Security will escort you to collect personal items. He stands so fast the chair skids. Call security and I swear I'll sue. Widower dad, fires son in grief spiral. I slide a printout across his text. Mom's not coming back. Brittany's birthday is once a year. Under it, the $812,400 ledger summary, and the PIP milestones with his initials from months ago. Written evidence, I say. If you go public, take all of it. His eyes flash. Fine, then I want my team. Teams belong to the company, I say. Not to you. He leans in, Voice low. Brittany's coming up. You won't humiliate me. As if on cue, the elevator dings. Heels hit marble like a metronome for bad ideas. Brittany storms in, hair immaculate, rage rehearsed. You can't do this to family, she says, planting her purse like a flag. We have bills. We have a lifestyle. He is this company. Sarah stands. This is a private HR meeting. You need to wait outside. That is not Thompson then. I know my rights, Brittany says, chin up. 6 months severance minimum. And you don't cut a corporate card without notice. That's illegal. It's policy, Sarah says, pointing to the clause. Privileges can be suspended without notice, and severance is discretionary. None is owed. Brittany swivels to me. Laura would be ashamed. I place Laura's daisy watch on the table. The room inhales. Laura would be proud of policy, I say. And of boundaries that keep people honest. Brittany scoffs. This is financial abuse. You're controlling us. Control is what you've attempted for years, I say. With guilt, with threats, with the promise of your presence as payment. This, in W wonder. She opens her purse, pulls out her phone, and starts recording. Say that again. Sarah's tone sharpens but stays professional. Recording is not permitted in secured HR meetings. If you don't comply, we'll ask security to remove you. Call them, Brittany says, leveling the phone like a weapon. Let the internet see what a narcissist looks like. Narcissists rewrite reality, I say. That's why we keep receipts. I nod to Sarah. She presses a discreet button. 2 security officers appear, not dramatic. Just policy in uniform. Ma'am, one says. Please come with us. Brittany points at me. This is not over. You'll hear from our attorney. That's the right place to take it, I say. In writing. She's escorted out, heels clicking an exit wound into the hallway. The office exhales. Tyler looks shaken, then furious. You did this to us. I did this for the company Laura and I built, I say. And for the people who rely on it. Sarah slides a small tray forward. Please place your company phone, tablet, and any keys on the tray. Badge stays until we escort you to your desk. He slaps down the phone and tablet. Hesitates on the keys, then throws them like he wants them to hurt on impact. They don't. Security will accompany you, Sarah says. Personal items only. Tools, files, and electronic records remain. He glares at me. Last offer. Keep me on payroll 30 days. I'll make a soft exit. No, I say. He snorts, a brittle sound. You'll regret this. Regret is what built the $812,400 number, I say. I'm done with it. And security tips their heads. Tyler walks out between them, a CEO in his own mind, and an ex-employee in ours. Heads turn in the bullpen. Some faces register relief. The building doesn't fall. It gets quieter. Sarah closes the door gently. Clean, she says again. Ugly, but clean. I sign the internal separation memo. Time of termination, 1:41 p.m. Cause noted. At-will documentation on file. Email from Tyler. Subject line all caps. Defamation. He CCs half his contacts in a lawyer's Gmail that screams template. He accuses HR of harassment, me of mental decline. The company of withholding his property. I forward to Maya with 2 words. For file. Her reply. Do not engage. Good paper. Proceed to bank. Sarah hands me a slim white envelope. Final check. Will overnight Cobra. We'll also send him a return of property reminder with an itemized list, just in case he forgets a laptop cable. Thank you, I say. She nods at the daisy watch. Go finish the rest. On the management wall, a row of photos in black frames. Laura always told me the wall looked too proud. I lift Tyler's headshot off the hook and slide it face down into a drawer. An empty rectangle of clean paint stares back. Somehow the wall looks lighter. My phone vibrates. David Harrison, First National Bank. Mr. Cole, he says. I received your email about withdrawing the personal guarantee. Can you come in at 2:30? We'll review the notice period and what that means for the Maple Ave loan. I'm on my way. I pocket the watch. The daisy engraving warms my palm like a benediction. At 2:30, the bank learns what my family learned at 1:41. From now on, my money answers to policy. Not pressure and guarantees or promises I'm done making for other people's choices. At 2:28 p.m., I push through the brass doors of First National Bank with a folder full of notarized boundaries. The lobby smells like lemon polish and old promises. David Harrison, branch VP, stands when I enter. He's the kind of banker who remembers birthdays and bylaws. Good. Today is about bylaws. We sit in his glass-walled office. He closes the door. Mr. Cole, he begins, hands folded. I received your email regarding the personal guarantee on the Maple Ave mortgage. Call me Nate, I say. And yes, I want it withdrawn. In writing, he exhales. Understood. The guarantee agreement contains a 30-day notice clause. After we receive your signed revocation, we're obligated to notify the borrowers Tyler and Brittany, and we typically accelerate the loan if the payment history is delinquent. How plags and manner wising than riven. It is delinquent, I say. You've been calling me to cure it. That ends today. He nods, pulls the file. There's 60 days past due. Under the note, the bank can issue a notice of default and right to cure, usually giving 30 days. If not cured, we proceed to acceleration and file for judicial foreclosure. This is Ohio. Timelines vary but assume months, not days. Fine, I say. Start the clock. He slides a form across. Sign here to revoke the guarantee. We'll send certified mail to the borrowers and add a note to your profile. No authority for Tyler divided by Brittany on your accounts. Add a verbal password on my profile, I say. If anyone calls to help me, no action without it. In-person ID only. He types notes. Done. Also, we can place a fraud alert on your consumer credit profile if you'd like. Do it, I say. And add POD designations to my CDs and checking. Laura's Daisy Foundation, pending filing. Or my revocable trust until the foundation is live. He prints beneficiary forms. I sign. The pen scratches like a zipper closing on a bag I should have closed years ago. David glances at the Maple file. Nate, once we accelerate, they'll receive a demand letter. It will be unpleasant. Consequences usually are, I say. He looks at me the way small-town people do when business becomes personal. For what it's worth, I'm sorry it's come to this. Never fin like to do in. I'm not, I say. I'm sorry I taught them it never would. He collects the paperwork. You'll receive written confirmation within 5 business days. The certified letters go out tonight. Phone buzzes as I stand. Text. Tyler me. 2:57 p.m. Bank called. You pulled the guarantee? What is wrong with you? Text. Me Tyler. Please put all communications in writing. I will not discuss personal finances. Text. Brittany me. 2:58 p.m. This is harassment. You're forcing a foreclosure to punish us. We'll tell everyone you're unstable. I screenshot. File under divided by evidence divided by texts. Then I walk to the teller line and change the pod on my modest savings. A small act with big teeth. Outside, Cedar Grove's Main Street looks the same. The part that changed is me. Cut to therapist office, 4:10 p.m. I keep the appointment. Dr. Harris squeezed in. Because I promised Maya I'd stop white-knuckling my brain. The room smells like eucalyptus and expensive Kleenex. He waits for me to speak first. I feel like I just kicked my son out of a boat, I say. But I also know I've been bailing his side for 15 years. He nods. What did you do today? Revoked POA, signed a new will, started a trust, withdrew a guarantee, fired him cleanly, put POD divided by TOD on my accounts, logged every word he threw at me. He leans forward. Good. Now say the sentence you've avoided. I swallow. I was the enabler. The money wasn't kindness, it was avoidance. Easier to wire cash than to tolerate his tantrums. Name the cost, he says. $812,400, and a funeral with an empty front row. He taps a pen against his pad. And the benefit? I almost laugh. Silence. Policy. The click of a notary stamp. Here's the frame, he says. Boundaries are grief's concrete. You pour them while it's wet, or the shape is wrong forever. Today you poured concrete. I sit with that. It's not poetry. It's masonry. It fits my hands. Homework, he says. When the guilt story plays, answer it with one policy sentence. Not feelings, policy. I write it down. No wires, no cash, no temporary loans. The 7. His eyes soften. And when you miss Laura because you will remember that boundaries honor her too. She worried you were drowning. I nod. She wrote it in a ledger. He smiles. Then, keep writing. VO cut to community ripple montage evening. Brittany posts a vague story about abusive elders and toxic boundaries. 2 likes, one from a hair salon, one from a cousin. The club manager emails, membership privileges are individual, not familial. Any disruptive behavior will result in suspension. Pastor Ruth leaves a voicemail. We're praying for you. If anyone gives you trouble at church, let me know. Have read time. Romano's replies to Tyler's Yelp essay with a bland corporate statement and a screenshot of their no recording in private rooms policy. Paper beats drama. VO desk, 7:03 p.m. I open my contemporaneous journal like Maya told me. 7:03 p.m. Bank. Signed revocation of guarantee. 30-day cure period pending. Added verbal password. POD. Divided by TOD. Updated. Therapist. Named enabling. Boundary equals policy sentence. Email. From Miami. 7.11.p. M.M.M. Subject. Tonight's roadmap. I received the bank's scan. Revocation logged. Expect notice of default to Tyler divided by Brittany this week. If they show up at your home, do not engage. Text me, and call non-emergency police for a civil standby if you need to retrieve any property. Tomorrow. File articles of incorporation for Laura's Daisy Foundation. Open foundation bank account. Begin EIN process. Keep screenshots. Do not spar online. He's auditioning for an audience. We're preparing for a judge. I reply with one line. Understood. No audience, just exhibits. VO doorbell, 8:26 p.m. 2 silhouettes in the frosted glass. Voices I know too well. I don't open. I don't perform. I speak through the door. Put it in writing. Brittany pounds. Coward, you ruined our credit. Boundaries, I say. Not a conversation. Footsteps retreat. A car door slams. My porch breathes again. VO phone pings. Email from David Harrison. Certified mail receipts attached. Notice of default queued. He lists the statutes like fence posts, cure period, acceleration, judicial foreclosure. It's just process, just gravity. I forward to Maya. She replies, calendar set for 30 days. If they don't cure, we may see this at the courthouse steps. I look at Laura's daisy-etched watch. The second hand sweeps like a quiet countdown. VO quiet kitchen, closing beat. I wash 2 coffee cups, mine and the one Laura left on a last ordinary morning. I dry them both and set hers back on the shelf like a promise kept. The bank mailed the letters. The clock started. When 30 days run out, we won't argue on porches. We'll meet on the courthouse steps, where stories end and paper speaks. 30 days pass like a fuse. Letters out. Right to cure expired. The court enters judgment of foreclosure and order of sale. On a gray Thursday with air like wet paper, I park across from the county courthouse and watch strangers gather where stories turn into deeds. A bailiff tapes the docket to a pillar. Case No. 24FC 1187. Property, 1427, Maple Avenue. Borrowers, Tyler and Brittany Cole. Plaintiff, First National Bank. Sheriff's sale. Public outcry. Cash or certified funds. 10% deposit due at Hammer. Balance on confirmation of sale. I check my pocket. Laura's daisy-etched watch is warm against my palm. Policy over pressure. Paper over pleading. VO sound cue. Gavel on wood. The sheriff's deputy clears his throat. Sale number 7. Opening bid is $278,000, per appraised value and order. A handful of investors shift their weight. Clipboards, ball caps, quiet math. Across the crowd, Tyler and Brittany hover at the curb too close. Not close enough. He's in a wrinkled blazer. She's in sunglasses that don't match the sky. They're not bidders. They're spectators to their own consequences. I don't stand on the steps. I don't raise my hand. I'm not the bidder. Bids, the deputy says. A contractor in a Carhartt jacket starts it. 280. I loft. And find the Rome to the Reeses. A woman in a navy suit, small, sharp, unbothered, lifts a paddle. 290. The contractor counters. 295. Navy doesn't blink. 302. Tyler's head jerks. I see the moment he recognizes the navy suit. Not the woman. The calm, the confidence that comes from numbers already solved. He pushes forward. A deputy shoulder shifts him back. If you are not bidding, sir, you will remain off the steps. Bids climb like a steady set of stairs. 305. 310. The deputy calls each one, voice flat as the statute. It's not theater. It's process. Navy raises her paddle again. 312.5. Silence. The contractor studies his sheet, then shakes his head. The deputy looks over the crowd. 312,500 going once. Twice. 313. The contractor's last push. Navy. 314. The deputy nods. $314,000. Going once. Twice. Sold. The gavel thunks. Chalk dust in a human shape. Tyler exhales like he's been punched. The winning bidder steps forward with a cashier's check for the deposit and a manila envelope of bidder registration. The deputy checks IDs, writes a receipt, and reads the name for the record. Successful bidder of 1427 Maple Avenue is Maple Street Holdings, LLC. Tyler turns to stare into the crowd like a child trying to find the magician's strings. Who is that? He says, loud enough to carry. He looks at me then, as if I'm holding a puppet. I keep my hands at my sides. The daisy watch ticks. The navy-suited woman signs the memorandum of sale. She doesn't look at me until she's done. Then she gives the smallest nod acknowledgement, not alliance. Her retainer comes from a wire that didn't have my name on it. Clean. Layered. Legal. Brittany breaks first. She stumbles toward the steps, voice pitched for drama. This is our home. You can't just... The deputy lifts a palm. Ma'am, please stand back. Sale is concluded pending court confirmation. You'll receive notice. She points at the bidder. Who do you work for? Kneisert. Navy's reply is stainless steel. Maple Street Holdings, LLC. Articles and agent on file with the Secretary of State. Brittany swings to me. Did you do this? Are you behind this? Her sunglasses finally give up and slide down her nose. The look underneath is raw. You're a monster. I speak so only the deputy hears me. Sir, if this escalates, I'll need a civil standby to leave the area. Already here, he says, chin flicking toward a second uniform. Tyler's voice floats across the space. Dad, please, we can fix this. We'll make payments. Just help us this one last time. I remember every last time I've bankrolled. The ledger sits behind my eyes like a courtroom exhibit. $812,400. Promises, 27. Payments, 0. Put it in writing, I say. He shakes his head, like the word itself is a trick. You did this. You wanted to humiliate me. No, I say. I wanted the bank to follow its policy, and it did. The deputy hands Navy the receipt. Balance due upon confirmation. You'll be notified. Yes, sir, she says, tucking the paper into her folio. She descends the steps, passing within 10 feet of me. No secret handshake. No whisper. We planned it that way, no proximity to feed a story. Brittany seizes the gap, phone up, red recording dot pulsing like a wound. Say something for the camera, she hisses. Explain how a narcissist destroys his own family. They work to get in his benchy. Record the sheriff, I say. He's the one who said sold. The deputy's voice carries. No recording on the landing, ma'am. Public area down the walk. She pivots, searching for an audience that won't sign for a package. There isn't one. The crowd thins. Investors peel off for coffee and spreadsheets. The courthouse swallows the echo of the gavel. I cross to my car, the black sedan Laura used to call the unnecessary tuxedo. The door protests, then closes with a grown-up sound. Vo inside the car. My phone buzzes. Email. Sheriff's Civil Division me. Subject. Memorandum of Sale. 1427 Maple Ave. Attached. Memorandum. Notice of confirmation hearing date, TBD. I forward the email to Maya with the subject line course held, steps complete. Her reply lands before the screen dims. Good. Will appear on confirmation. Then deed transfers to the LLC. After that, we talk purpose. I rest the watch in my palm. Daisy petals catch a thin ribbon of Sunday. Laura didn't like revenge. She liked repair. I'm trying to build something she would recognize out of rubble she never wanted to see. Vo montage. The long mechanics. The court issues order confirming sale 2 weeks later. The sheriff's deed records at the county recorder. Maple Street Holdings LLC wires the balance. Receives keys via lockbox code and a receipt that smells like toner. A locksmith rotates the tumblers. A property manager photographs the rooms Brittany once filmed for Instagram. I walk through the empty house with the manager. Late afternoon. The echo is honest. Cupboard doors hang open like they forgot their lines. Solid bones, the manager says. They left holes where TVs were mounted. Nothing we can't patch. In the kitchen drawer, a single fork and a credit card offer live on like a joke about appetite and debt. I leave both, then change my mind and toss the offer in the contractor bag. Trash belongs with its own kind. The manager points to a cracked tile. We'll bring it back. What's the plan? Flip? Rent? It dished within my calmness. I think of Laura's ledger and the pencil note. Don't tell Nate yet. He worries. I think of Dr. Harris saying boundaries are grief's concrete. I think of a woman I haven't properly met yet, sharpening a mission statement on a yellow pad. Hold, I say. Short term, make it safe and simple. We're not maximizing dollars. We're maximizing meaning. He nods like he's heard stranger orders from men with rings that have outlived their wives. Copy that. We step onto the front stoop. Across the street, a kid pedals a bike too big for him. He wobbles, corrects, keeps going. Tyler learned right here. Laura ran alongside with her hand, ready but not holding. I lock the door and pocket the key, a placeholder. Not a prize. Vogue curbside. A sedan idles 2 houses down. Brittany in the driver's seat, Tyler passenger. They don't get out. I don't wave. They're not my problem to solve. Policy handled what pleading never could. My phone pings. Another email from Maya. Email, Maya me. Subject, tomorrow. Meet 9 a.m. to finalize articles of incorporation for Laura's Daisy Foundation. Bank appointment 10:30 to open foundation account. Then swing by the office. I'll explain why this case isn't just work for me. I type back. I'll be there. Keys in hand. I sit in the driver's seat until the engine heat catches up to the day. The Daisy watch ticks in my pocket. For the first time in months, I'm early to something that isn't an emergency. Tomorrow, we stop talking about what I took away and start building what Laura left behind, and Maya will finally tell me why she chose this fight like it was personal. At 8:57 a.m., I'm back under the Patel and Howe shingle with a key to a house I don't want and a mission I do. The receptionist points me straight in. Maya already has 3 stacks labeled Foundation, IRS, divided by EIN, bylaws. Morning, she says. We're not just drawing lines today. We're building something. I set Laura's daisy-etched watch between us, our unofficial gavel. Let's make it real. Aid Azur. Articles of Incorporation. Name Laura's Daisy Foundation. Incorporated. Charitable purpose scholarships in nursing. Divided by elder care plus elder financial justice support. Bylaws. 3-7 directors. Conflict of interest policy. Quorum rules. No private inurement. Dissolution clause. Naming successor charity. Board slate. Initial. Me, Chair. Maya, Independent Director. Carol Newen, CPA, Independent. Pastor Ruth, Community. Resolutions. Open bank account. Adopt fiscal year. Authorize EIN application. Adopt grants policy. No grants to for-profit. Vetting checklist. Grant-making policy. Need, statement, budget, outcome metrics. No grants to relatives. Cooling off period for board conflicts. Maya slides the conflicts policy. You'll sign this now and once a year. No shortcuts. I don't want shortcuts, I say. I want clean. Her paralegal, Jess, brings in a portable scanner. The notary stamps like a metronome for legitimacy. Thunk, thunk, thunk. Email. Secretary of State, info@laurasdaisy.org, 9:21 a.m. Subject. Filing accepted Laura's Daisy Foundation, Incorporated. Attachment. Stamped articles. Maya doesn't smile big, she never does, but a corner lifts. Next, EIN. She keys the IRS portal while I read the purpose paragraph again. It sounds like Laura wrote it on one of her polite sticky notes to the world. Email. IRS e-Services, 9:33 a.m. Subject. Employer identification number assigned. EIN. 86 7 XX 9 XXX Bank time, Maya says, gathering the binder. Bring 2 IDs. They'll want the articles, EIN letter, and the board resolution. VO 1031A, M First National Business Desk. Different counter, different rules. The banker, Lydia, is all business. We'll open a non-profit checking and a money market, she says. Signers limited to board-authorized officers. No personal commingling. Good, I say. Wire limits. Outgoing limited, dual control on wires, she says. And we'll set alerts on every transaction, not resented and denning paiding. With an otters the sears. To later wise, we fund the account with an initial transfer from my personal checking donation receipt printed. Acknowledgement letter template in the binder. Card? Lydia asks. No debit cards, Maya answers for us. Checks only, keep it boring. Lydia grins. Boring is safe. VO parking lot, doors closed. Maya doesn't start the car. She just sits, hands loose on the wheel, looking at the bank like it's a courtroom. You said there was context, I prompt. She nods once. My mother was a housekeeper. Brilliant, stubborn, gentle. She sent every extra dollar to my grandfather's meds. When she got sick, my uncle moved in to help. He added himself to her bank accounts to pay bills. He pressured a nurse to notarize a POA, sloppy but passable. He sold her car for expenses, maxed her credit, and told the family she wanted him to manage. Her mouth tightens. By the time I got there, the will had been rewritten on a download and fill template, and her account was empty, except for overdraft fees. She died with nothing but receipts. I let the quiet hold. We got some of it back, she says. Not enough. The DA passed because family disputes are messy. I went to law school for that. No. She looks at me. I don't take cases like yours to punish sons. I take them to interrupt patterns that eat women like my mother alive. Laura's watch ticks between us. Thank you, I say. The words are small for the weight, but it's all English ever offers. Maya slides me a yellow pad. So if this is going to honor Laura, it can't just be scholarships. It has to teach and protect. We build a clinic model. Small legal stipends for elder financial abuse victims. Workshops, bank accounts and POD divided by TOD, 101. Spotting POA abuse. How to say no without being called cruel. I write as she talks, the pad filling like a blueprint. Program A. Nursing scholarships. 2 times. $10K. Divided by year to start. GPA plus. Service hours. Program B. Elder Justice Microgrants. $500, $2,000. $500 for filings, notarizations, filing fees, locks, small liens, document reviews. Program C. Community workshops monthly, free. Bank partner provides location divided by coffee, print checklists. Safeguards. No aid where applicant seeks funds to evade legitimate debts. Mandatory brief intake with pro bono review. Decline if conflict. She adds one more. And a fellows program. Small stipends for nursing students to do elder check visits with a supervising RN. 2 hours a week. Companionship is protective. We draft a 1-page mission sheet and a 90-day launch plan. It looks like a construction schedule. It feels right. Text. Pastor Ruth. Me. M. Heard good whispers. If you need space for workshops, the church hall is yours, free. I show Maya. She nods. Community before PR. We head back to her office for the last, careful cut. 2 things left. She says, 1. We file Form 1023 easy or full 1023 later. But for now, you can still operate and accept donations as a pending public charity. Just disclose status. 2. We decide the house. I put the Maple Ave keys on the table. Hold and convert, I say. Phase the rehab, safety, then dignity. Pilot 2 rooms as emergency stays. 72 hours max for elders who need a civil standby to collect belongings or wait out a dangerous situation. Insurance, Maya says, already typing. We'll need a liability rider and a clear license divided by waiver model. We're not a shelter yet, but we can partner with existing ones. Keep it narrow until we're properly permitted. I nod. Narrow beats nothing. She turns the keys in her fingers. You're sure this isn't revenge wearing a halo? It started as a boundary, I say. Now it's a build. For the first time, She smiles without the lawyer in it. Then welcome to the part that honors Laura more than any gavel ever could. Vo ping, email lands. Email, county recorder. Maya, CC me. 11:46 a.m. Subject, sheriff's deed recorded, 1427 Maple Ave. Instrument no. 20250911143. Maya taps the page. Title's clean. Maple Street Holdings, LLC is of record. We'll lease it to the foundation for $1 divided by year until we structure the transfer with minimal tax friction. Lease to ourselves, I say. Clean. Layered. Legal. She checks her watch, then looks at me. I need to tell you one more thing about me, not as your lawyer. She exhales. When my mother was dying, she asked me if I could forgive your uncle so your cousins still have an aunt at holidays. Maya's voice warms and hardens at once. I told her I'd forgive him when he gave back what he stole. He never did. So I built a life where my yes could outvote his no. She gestures to the foundation binder. This is me voting with you. Amen. I close the binder, and the space gets quiet enough to hear the daisy watch. Okay, I say. Let's go tell the bank teller we need a donation lockbox form and a mailing address. Then I'm going home. You expecting company? Maya asks, reading something in my face. I'm expecting a knock, I say. People like Tyler don't lose quietly. He'll try for one more conversation in person, where there are no attachments to forward. Maya slides over a card. If he shows up, call me, then call non-emergency. Stand on your porch, door closed. If you need to retrieve any of his property, request a civil standby. Keep your phone recording from the inside if state law allows one-party consent. Do not open the door for a fight. I pocket the card with the keys and the watch. Vo, doorway, leaving. As I step out, she adds, Nate, whatever he says, do not explain your boundaries. State them. Policy sentences, I say. I remember. Maya nods once. See you at the launch meeting Monday. By noon, Laura has a foundation, and Maple Ave has a future. By dusk, my doorbell will ring and Tyler will find out. Boundaries are not a debate. They're a door that only opens for truth. Dusk rolls over Cedar Grove like a dimmer switch. Porch lights pop on up and down the block. I set Laura's daisy-etched watch on the entry table where the brass catches the last orange scrape of Sunday. The house hums with new wiring. Will signed. POA revoked. Trust drafted. Guarantee withdrawn. Foundation opened. Policy in the walls. The doorbell rings at 7:32 p.m. 3 hard presses, then fists, then silence, the kind people use to make you open the door. I don't. I tap my phone. Voice memo's new recording. Ohio is one-party consent. Dr. Harris would call this preparing for reality, not a fight. Dad? Tyler's voice through the wood. It's me. We need to talk. Put it in writing, I say, loud enough to carry. Come on, he says, nearer now, breath skating the seam of the door. Brittany's in the car. She's upset. You don't have to be like this. I say nothing. A minute passes. 2. Then the script flips. You ruined our credit. Brittany fires from the driveway. You engineered the foreclosure. You bought our house through a shell. This is abuse. Leave a letter, I say. I'll read it. Stop hiding. Tyler pounds once more. I'll be calm. Promise. Promises are IOUs from people who never intended to pay. I take a breath and open only the storm door. The locked glass panel keeps our air from mixing. He looks thinner, older, and suddenly 12, which is dangerous. Nostalgia is a con artist. I hold the line. Say your piece, I tell him. I get it now, he blurts. I messed up. I should have been at Mom's funeral. I should have stepped up more at work. I was stressed. Brittany was. He glances back. Brittany stares at us over her phone like a sniper behind glass. We just need a start. 2 months' rent. I'll move us into something small. You won't hear from us except holidays. No wires, no cash, no temporary loans, I say. That's my policy. No, he flinches like I swore at him. Policy. I'm your son. You're a man, I say. Men live with outcomes. He works moisture into his voice. Dad, I'm really sorry. For what? I ask. For the foreclosure, the HR drama, the emails, he says, eyes sliding. And about Mom. I know her birthday meant a lot to you, June 15th. He stops, guesses. June 15th. Laura's birthday is May 18. I let the error sit in the porch light. What was her favorite flower? I ask. He knows the move is coming and gambles anyway. Roses. The daisy watch ticks on the table like a judge tapping a pen. Her favorite hymn? I ask. He hates this part. Why does that matter? Because love recognizes details, I say. Policy recognizes patterns. You're asking me to ignore both. He draws himself up. Fine. You want specifics? We'll pay you back. We'll sign something. You've signed things, I say. Expense reports, PIPs, emails. The only thing you haven't signed is a check in my direction. He exhales, staggered, then tries a softer corner. You're lonely, Dad. The house is too big. Brittany and I could come by, cook, help with the accounts. No, I say. No access to my bank accounts. No POA. No keys. Brittany is done with acting class. She slams her car door and strides up the walk, phone raised, voice pitched for virality. Let the record show an elder is isolating himself and refusing help from his family. Step off the porch, I say, calm. You're trespassing. She plants a heel on the top step like it's a flag. You ruined our lives, you narcissist. You're going to die alone and everyone will know it. I look at Tyler. This is your moment. Rein it in, or we end now. He turns to her, hissing. Britt, please. Is like saying. A patrol car slides to the curb with the timing of a metronome. Not my call. Neighbors in Cedar Grove prefer peace over plots. The officer steps out, hand light on the belt. Evening. Everything okay here? Yes, sir, I say. They're leaving. Brittany pivots to the officer. He stole our house through a fake company. The bank sold a debt at a public sale. I say. Memorandum of sale. Order confirming sale. Sheriff's deed all recorded. If you're disputing, file it in court. The officer nods. Civil matter. Folks, if he's asked you to leave, you should leave. It's my father, Tyler says, pushing past the script, reaching for the handle. Like muscle memory might open what words can't. I raise my palm not to stop him, just to show him the distance. This door is a boundary, Tyler. You don't cross it until you understand what it protects. He deflates and tries honesty for once. We have nothing, Dad. She left. She took the dog. I'm sleeping in an extended stay off Route 6. I make coffee for truckers. I know you think I deserve it. Maybe I do. But I'm asking for a rope. I feel the pull Laura's kind gravity and then I hear Dr. Harris. When the guilt story plays, answer with one policy sentence. I breathe and deliver it. No wires, no cash, no temporary loans. Something slides in his face, rage, searching for a handle and finding none. This is sick. He spits. Mom would hate you for this. I pick up Laura's ledger, the page with her pencil whisper. Don't tell Nate yet. He worries. And on the back, another line. Faint from eraser and time. I'm afraid Tyler only loves our money. I read it to him. No flourish. No sermon. Just written evidence. He stares at the page like it's blackmail. You made that up. Scan in my exhibits, I say, and nod toward the phone recording in my hand. PDFs don't gaslight. His mouth twists. He plays the last card, the one that punctured me once and won't again. I hope you die alone in this mausoleum of policies. I let it hang. Then I answer with the only explanation that doesn't degrade either of us. I chose boundaries because I love your mother. He flinches because the sentence didn't give him a surface to claw. The officer clears his throat. Folks, Tyler takes a step back. Another. Brittany lingers long enough to pan her phone over our porch like she's filming a crime scene. Enjoy your little foundation, she sneers. We'll tell everyone it's a PR stunt. Tell them when the scholarships post, I say. Tell them when the workshops fill. Tell them when we fund elder justice filings. They retreat to the car. Doors, engine, taillights, silence. The officer tips his chin at me. You good, sir? I am, I say, surprised that it's true. Thanks for passing by. He nods and rolls on. I close the storm door and turn the deadbolt on the wood. The house exhales. Vo kitchen. I log the incident in my contemporaneous journal. 7:32, 7:58 p.m. Tyler divided by Brittany appeared. Requested money. Invoked mom. Threatened public shaming. Restated policy. Did not engage beyond porch. Recording saved. Neighbor initiated officer check. No report filed. I email the entry to Maya with the audio file attached. Subject, porch policy held. Her reply pings in under a minute. Perfect. Thank you for keeping it on the porch. I pour tea in Laura's mug and set the daisy watch beside it. For the first time, the ticking doesn't sound like a countdown. It sounds like time I own. Tomorrow, the foundation meets its first nursing student and a bank manager who wants to host our Elder Justice 101. And if Tyler wants a path back, he won't find it at my door. He'll find it in a year of actions I don't have to narrate. Morning breaks like a clean page. I lace my shoes, pocket Laura's daisy-etched watch, and carry the foundation binder to the car. The house doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels organized. 9:02 a.m. Church hall folding chairs, coffee in air pots, a donated projector pointed at a white wall. A handmade sign reads, Elder Justice 101. 10 people filter and 2 widowers with questions about POD. Divided by TOD. A daughter worried about her mom's helpful nephew. A retired nurse who came because she heard the word scholarship. Pastor Ruth opens with a prayer so gentle it feels like a seatbelt, then nods to me. I click to slide 1. Boundaries are paper first. Morning, I say. I'm Nate. I'm not a lawyer. I hired a good one. What I am is a man who let guilt spend $812,400 because I was afraid to hear someone call me cruel. This class is everything I learned too late. Heads lift. Pens uncap. Slide 2. Bank accounts 101. Add pod divided by TOD to bypass probate properly. Never put an adult child on your account as a joint owner to help pay bills. Use view-only online access if you need oversight. Set verbal passwords with your bank. Require ID in person. Slide 3. Powers of attorney. Tools, not surrenders. Durable POA should be specific, witnessed, and ideally notarized by someone neutral. Record revocation if you change your mind. Notify banks in writing. Healthcare proxy and HIPAA releases are separate. Choose people who honor your choices, not theirs. I hold up a form packet. These are templates, not legal advice. Our partner clinics will walk you through the parts that need a professional. Bring questions, bring a friend. A woman in a jean jacket raises a hand. What if they say I'm being toxic for setting boundaries? I nod. Then you're probably doing it right. Toxic people call boundaries cruel, the way burglars call locks unfair. Soft laughter. Relief. The kind that makes oxygen go farther. 11:14 a.m. Bank Community Room. Lydia from First National co-hosts a tighter workshop for seniors. She lays out a checklist. POD divided by TOD. Beneficiary updates. No joint accounts. Fraud alerts. Account notes that say no phone changes without in-person ID. She mentions verbal passwords again, and a man in a VFW cap writes it down twice. I close with something simple. Pick one change. Do it today. Policy first. Peace second. That order matters. We break for sandwiches and paperwork. Carol Newen, CPA, walks me through grant guidelines. Pastor Ruth confirms the hall for a monthly clinic. Maya signs off on a memorandum of understanding with a legal aid partner. The foundation funds filing fees, locks, notarizations. Legal aid provides the representation. 2 lanes, no collisions. Then our first scholarship applicant arrives. Sophia Ramirez, a nursing student with dark circles under her eyes and a stack of clinical evaluations that sing. She's the oldest of 4. Her abuela raised her on stories and boleros. Sophia wants geriatrics because, she says, old people deserve a nurse who isn't rushing. We ask our 3 questions. Why nursing? What's the plan? Who benefits besides you? Her answers are clean as hospital glass. We approve $10,000 on the spot tuition paid directly to the college, not to Sophia. Policy protects kindness from becoming cash. She cries in the parking lot. Pastor Ruth hugs her. Maya hands her a 1-page code of conduct for scholarship recipients, GPA floors, service hours at our clinics. No social media shaming of family. We added that last one this morning. Sophia signs with a steadiness that makes the room brighter. The property manager meets me with a clipboard and 2 sets of fresh keys. Safety pass, he says. Smoke detectors. Locks. Trip hazards addressed. We staged 2 bedrooms. He pauses. Short stays only until the licensing folks bless a broader plan. Short and lawful, I say. Civil standby staging area, not a shelter. We walk the quiet rooms. Fresh paint covers the dents where a flat screen used to be. On the mantel, the manager placed a small ceramic vase with a single fake daisy. It should be corny. It isn't. First guest comes Friday, he says. Legal aid called. 78-year-old widow. Needs 2 nights while her grandson moves out per a court order. Leave the porch light on, I say. We'll cover the power bill. Vo 4:37 p.m. a corner diner. I sit at a booth because Laura liked booths. Coffee arrives in a heavy mug that could moonlight as a paperweight. I flip open the contemporaneous journal and log the day. Workshops, beneficiary updates, scholarship award, Maple Ave ready. The bell over the door rings. Tyler walks in wearing a gas station polo with a name patch that doesn't match his face yet. He freezes when he sees me. I don't move. He approaches like someone remembering stairs after a fall. Hey, he says. Cautious. Hey, I say. I leave the journal open where it is. He looks older than last week. Less performance, more gravity. I'm not here to ask for money, he says quickly. I know what you'll say. Good, I say. He swallows. I came to say I'm trying. I picked up an extra shift. I called the bank to set up a payment plan for the card I ran up. I'm counseling with Pastor Ruth. Brittany. He stops. Brittany left a comment on your foundation page. I asked her to delete it. She blocked me. I don't rescue the silence. He has to cross it. I'm supposed to hate you, he says. It was easier when you were an ATM. I didn't have to think about who I was. Now I hate this version of me, the one who knew Mom's birthday as a weapon to guess. Not a day to celebrate. May 18 lives in his eyes now. I don't say it. I want to come to a workshop, he blurts. Not to cause trouble. Just to learn how to be. Not this. Then come, I say. Sit in the back. Take notes. No commentary. No, Dad. Just a man in a metal chair learning how paper works. He nods, shaky. He starts to leave, then turns back. The house? Did you buy it? The LLC did, I say. It's leased to the foundation for $1 a year. He blinks. That's not petty. Policy isn't petty, I say. It's a tool. I used to build for you. Now I build for her. He looks at the daisy watch sitting next to my coffee. His mouth moves around the words he needs. Tell Mom I'm trying, he says. Like he knows I talk to her when I'm alone. I just did, I say. He leaves without asking for anything. Which is something. Vo evening garden. I trim the rosebush Laura loved even though daisies were her favorite. The sun slides down behind the neighbor's walnut tree and the house breathes like it's found a new rhythm. My phone buzzes. A donation came in $50 with a note. For the lady in Friday's room. Then a message from Maya. Bylaws recorded. Your board meets Tuesday. Bring daisies. I set the phone down and write the last page of this chapter, the checklist I wish I'd had before the ledger hit $812,400. VO checklist. Read like a promise. Practical lessons policy. You can use. Banking. Add pod, divided by TOD. Set a verbal password. Never add adult children as joint owners to help. POA divided by health. Use narrow, notarized POAs. Record revocations. Pick proxies who respect your wishes. Separate HIPAA releases. Evidence. Keep written everything emails, texts, receipts, scan to PDF. Backup 3, 2, 1. Employment and family businesses. Enforce the handbook. Document. Separate personal and professional channels. No HR in the living room. Guarantees. Don't co-sign unless you're willing to own the debt. If you must withdraw, do it in writing, by certified mail, and calendar the notice period. Boundaries, script. One policy sentence you can say under adrenaline. No wires, no cash, no temporary loans. Safety. If conflict escalates, request a civil standby. Keep encounters on the porch. Know your state's recording laws. Legacy. Make wills, trusts, and beneficiaries reflect values, not guilt. Consider directing resources to mission, not mistakes. Community. Don't debate online. Educate in rooms with coffee and chairs. Policy beats performance. Therapy. Boundaries are grief's concrete. Pour them while the heart is wet. 1 year from now, I hope a student nurse checks on a widow and changes a lock. I hope a grandson hears no from a bank teller and that no saves Christmas. I hope my son sits in a metal chair at the back of a workshop and learns that love isn't a wire transfer. It's a boundary that keeps both sides human. I pocket the watch. The garden dims. The house glows the way houses do when someone bothered to flip the switches and label the breakers. Policy. I tell the air that still smells a little like Laura's lavender. Then, peace. The daisy watch ticks once, like agreement. If you skimmed everything else, take this. No is a complete sentence and a mental health plan. The day I stopped being an enabler and started being a steward of my own peace, the guilt fog lifted. Boundaries aren't cruelty, they're care with a spine. When you're dealing with toxic dynamics, gaslighting, entitlement, narcissist theatrics, explanations become ammunition. Policy turns down the volume. Put it in writing. Keep receipts. Move money and decisions behind paper pod. Divided by TOD. Specific POAs, written evidence. If someone calls you heartless for protecting your sanity, remember, burglars think deadbolts are mean too. The bigger lesson? Protecting your mental health is not a debate. You don't owe anyone access to your bank accounts, your front door, or your headspace to prove you're compassionate. Compassion without boundaries breeds resentment. Compassion with boundaries builds repair. And repair is how you honor the people who loved you right. Your turn, Reddit. AITA, for drawing hard lines with my adult son after he skipped his mother's funeral and still demanded money. What would you have done in my place, especially if you'd already paid over $800K across 15 years? Have you ever dealt with an entitled family member who called your boundaries toxic? What scripts, policies, or survival tips helped you stay sane? Drop your best one-liners for shutting down gaslighting without a fight. No wires, no cash, no temporary loans is mine. If you've navigated POAs, beneficiary updates, or civil standbys, share what you wish you'd known sooner. Be kind to each other in the comments. And remember, policy first, peace second in that order.